Advantage and commercial plans. IWC Primary Care, a sharp community medical group plan, owned and directed by Dr. Suzanne Aflalo. Visit our website, iwcprimarycare.com, or call to book an appointment, 858-648-0750.
Oh, we're live.
Okay. John's been playing you all your promo too.
Oh, great.
Played it on his show.
Oh, I'm happy.
It's where Christian hip hop and R&B meet real conversations about faith and the elect. Music we to unstoppable and pointing back to Jesus. No pressure, no pretending, just real hip hop.
I can see her face when she did that part. No pressure.
It's different here.
We'll see you there.
This is a memorial tribute to honor the lives of Coretta Scott King and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. right here on Gospel on Demand Radio.
The Right to a Decent Life and Human Dignity by Coretta Scott King. In December 1970, Cesar Chavez, leader of
Let
the
me
movement to
look. I might
organize
get muted
the
on
Northern
that. So
Chicago.
let me turn it down just a little bit. In case y'all looking for that project that came from a project recorded by Ruby D. And it's on Coretta Scott King. So you can always look up Ruby D on iTunes. It's an orange color graphic design with Ruby D's young face on it. And she basically took the letters that Coretta Scott King wrote and she did a voicing to them. And it's powerful. It's powerful. I don't want to get muted. Look, let me turn up just a little bit.
When organized strength and from the foundation shook the whole structure. Social change does not come from voluntary goodwill and charity from the top. It comes from motion at the bottom. Black people and brown people are herded at the bottom and told to be quiet and to wait for slow change. But change has never come to us in waiting. Waiting has multiplied the profits of the rich, but it deadens and depresses those below. We are tens of millions strong, and waiting not only offends our dignity, but leaves us in deprivation. We know our own history. Waiting and patience have resulted in economic exploitation and racial abuse. And finally, together we have said, there is an end to waiting. We are not enemies of the nation, but we are treated as if we were conquered and enslaved. We have fed and clothed the nation by our sweat and toil, but our share in its goods is the share of prisoners.
I've been counted out, talked about, lied on about the people that I thought were my family. They didn't understand me. I've seen the highest highs and lowest lows.
Look, I had to find I said, where we at? Okay, there we is.
No one else had me.
Trying to pull up so I can see. How you doing, Clinton Gorham? God bless you. He said, let's go. How's it going? It's going blessed, brother. And I hope you had a wonderful MLK holiday weekend. Did you make it to the parade? Did you make it to any other events this week? I haven't been on social media to scroll and see what people have done during the holiday weekend, but I hope it's been a blessing for you. Definitely a blessing for me. Y'all saw my little late reels, but I got them out there. I got them. I don't like to cut any of the footage that I capture. I try to use everything. So I said, okay, I'm going to have to speed it up. Y'all understand how we go. You understand. So I'm trying to pull up my credits for that Ruby D piece because it's got a lengthy title to it. I definitely want to credit it right. Okay, there we go. Yes, and many of you know this is Brian Courtney Wilson's son, Joshua. Joshua Wilson or Joshua Gordon Wilson. We are hoping that he and his dad will do a collaboration together. That would be powerful, father and son. They can join so many other parents who recorded with their children, like the Winans. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, he is. Put it in the chat if you did anything exciting for MLK weekend. Let me know what you did. As you all saw, we were on the USS Midway on one day, and then we were at the Human Dignity Awards on another day, where Dr. LT was being recognized and honored. And I do want to thank again the Jackie Robinson Family YMCA and the Human Dignity Award committee for selecting my husband this year, along with Pastor Walter Wells. He was so very well deserving of an award like that. He's known in the community as the Little Giant because he's petite in stature, but he's big in the faith. And if you ever hear him bring the word, honey, it will blow you away. Blow you away. But he's been a beloved member in the community at the Mount Airy Baptist Church right there on 47th Street. And I've enjoyed attending services at that church. On many occasions, my very own father, when he passed away as a little girl, I can remember that church because I had to go up those steps to get into the sanctuary. And it was a new place for me. That's funny because that's my fondest and oldest memory of Mount Airy Baptist Church, was having to attend my dad's memorial service. And my first memorial service that I can ever remember as a kid, that's when I first learned that the person laying in the casket ain't soft and pliable. When I leaned over, they picked me up, I should say. I wasn't even tall enough to lean into the casket, but my mom or one of my relatives picked me up so that I could lean over into the casket and kiss my dad's face. And I remember it was hard as a rock and it was cold. And I said, it was shocking to me as a kid because I was like, wait a minute, his face is hard and it's cold. They had to explain to me later what's done with the corpse when your loved ones die, what they do with the body to preserve it, I didn't know that as a kid. Nobody ever told me that. And I never looked at bodies in the casket the same ever again. That was a lesson for me. And I think I was 7 or 8 years old. Never forgot it. So I can talk all day long about why I am not a fan of having the casket at the funeral, because it really, really grieves the family's heart more than you'll ever know. They are constantly sitting there looking at this body laying there, and it's not alive. It will not wake up again. It will not move. It will not breathe. It will not see. It will not talk. And they're sitting there, and you know what's happening to the mental state as they're looking at their loved one lay there in the casket? They're hearing the word dead. They're hearing the word departed. They're hearing the word not alive, That keeps stabbing, if you will, at the conscience, at the mental psyche, that your loved one died. You see, every time you have to keep hearing that again and again and again, it's doing something awful. But if you do not have the casket at the funeral, remove that piece altogether, oh my God, the memorial service can literally become a celebration of their life, because you don't have their corpse, if you will, sitting right in front of you in a box, a beautiful box with flowers on it. What's really the purpose of the body being in the church? What's the real purpose of the body being at the service? Why you can't just have pictures of your loved one and you celebrate their memory with photos and you celebrate their memory with video? Those have been the most beautiful services I have ever gone to, and I was able to make it through the service because I didn't have the casket right in front of me. I know everybody got different views about that, but when it came to my family having to lay my mama to rest, we did exactly that. We moved the casket out of the picture, and it was the most beautiful service for the whole family to endure. I keep hearing relatives tell me that. I'm so glad you guys did this, you guys did that. Me and my brother was on one accord. It was tough enough for us to deal with the death of our mom because it was so unexpected. But having to be in the seat of making decisions when you are trying to grieve at the same time, you can't hardly think clear, especially if it's your mama. You see, when your mama passes away, there's nothing like losing a mama, okay? Nothing like it. because the child is the closest to the one who was doing all of the nurturing all of those years while daddy was away working and providing for the family. It was mama happened to be the disciplinarian, the one who feeds you, the one who had to take care and tend to your wounds, do homework with you, counsel you when you was getting bullied and beat up. You see, mama is the one that was there. So when it come time for her to make her transition, child, you got to be a kid to really understand and know what that feels like. If you still got your mama with you, God bless you. Because when the time come, oh my God, it's a pain that you can't know until it happens to you. It's one thing to talk about it, but it's a whole nother thing to experience it. So when I talk to people now whose mamas have passed away, I totally understand. I was in their shoes, so I can speak on it. I can definitely speak on it. I can go deeper than that if you want me to. But it might offend some folks. It might offend some folks. But God educated me. He showed me a whole lot through that transition. And there are people that are still grieving right now. And some people that's still mad at God because he allowed their mom to transition. And they were not ready for her to transition. They weren't ready. You know, they were praying for her healing. They was praying for her deliverance. They was praying that she would not die. And then the Lord allowed it to happen. I always say, before you be quick to pray for somebody to live, you need to know what their prayer request was. How about that? Know what they prayed and asked the Lord for. Because sometimes they also have their own prayer requests. And God ain't going to necessarily honor yours over theirs. You got to remember that.
So being able to see her live to a lifetime where she was able to live where she wasn't segregated and she was able to own her own home and have her own bank account and like work wherever she wanted to work.
Cass.
So she's one of she's a very pivotal, important person in my life. Just watching her live and everything like that. Also, too, for me, I would say his impact globally. I think people don't take into consideration that he had a global impact. It started here and expanded out, and that's so important. It's very rare that someone has that type of influence, positive influence too, to not just change a nation, but help to change a world.
Turn it back down just a tad bit. Beautiful sounds of a group called Committed and their version of Lift Every Voice and Sing. Although my grandbaby is in school right now, she may go back and watch this part of the broadcast. I'm going to dedicate this to her. She had her very first professional gig, if you will. She got an opportunity to sing the Black National Anthem at the All People's Breakfast, which we all attended on, what's today? Look, I got to ask myself. Today is Tuesday, so it was yesterday, which was Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. And some people, you know, they still go to work even though it's a holiday. Others say, honey, I ain't working on that day. I'm taking this day off. It's a holiday. Whichever way you decide to do it. But she had an opportunity to sing before close to, or if not over 1,000 people that were all social justice advocates in various different arenas. Some in the highs, some on the base level, if you will, in the trenches. And it was her very first time doing that. Now, she's attended the breakfast with me on many occasions. Many occasions she's joined me. But she never probably imagined that one day it would be her on that stage. One of the highlights is our very own Secretary of State, Dr. Shirley Weber, was there in attendance. Powerful. So she got an opportunity. She's met Dr. Shirley Weber before. They've taken a picture together before. But this time it was different, because Dr. Weber was there to witness her doing something like this, singing a powerful song that means so much to our Black and brown community. So I thank God for my grandbaby. I want y'all to pray for her. Pray for her, because when the devil sees children being driven in the right direction or led in the right direction with their lives and with their gifts, he will look for opportunities to turn that in a whole nother direction. And if a child has big breaks that happen to them too soon, they don't have the right people in place to monitor who they're interacting with, then you have people taking advantage of them, people luring them into different places or into different situations or opportunities. It can look like an opportunity, but ultimately it's something that's posed to damn them, if you will, bring them into a place of destruction because it happened while they were too young, or it was the wrong people controlling the outcome of maybe contracts or what looked like opportunities, a television opportunity, a commercial opportunity, a movie opportunity, a sitcom opportunity. You see, it looked like it was good, but ultimately it ended up being the worst thing that could have happened to the child because they were too young. So I applaud my daughter. First of all, that's Mama Bear. That's my daughter is a Mama Bear, if you will. And she's very protective over her daughter. Very protective. I told her as she gets these opportunities, remain very close to her. Don't let her walk off with nobody. I don't care who they are. If they walking with your baby, you walk right with them. So you can see where they are walking her to. And what company is she about to enter into the realm of? Who is standing by that they're walking her to this person? You need to accompany them, and you need to stand right there and watch everything that's said, everything that's done. Observe everything. Even if you trust them or not, you still need to be observing. So I'm telling you all, as parents, you've got some talented children, and people see that talent in them. They're going to want to capitalize on it. As a parent, if you're the best manager for them, get ready to quit your job. How about that? Because your baby may be responsible for your wealth. It might be tied to them. So get ready for that. Ooh, I love this note right here. Listen to this note. That baby held that note. Hear that? He held it. Woo!
This month, we honor the life and legacy of a true change agent, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Here we go. Got to get it in there. Got to. I know I'll get blocked on this. So I'm going to turn this one down. But you all are familiar with the song, Happy Birthday to You. That's Stevie Wonder telling us about the importance of what once upon a time did not exist, which is the holiday. You know, thank God we got the holiday. And thank God for those who pushed to make sure that he would be recognized with a holiday. Now, I had also mentioned something on my Sunday show. Let me see if I can find my Voice and Viewpoint newspaper, because Dr. John Warren, he dropped some knowledge in that newspaper. Dang, I didn't even bring it. My God. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Did I wanted to share something with y'all. If you don't read the Voice and Viewpoint newspaper, you should be reading the newspaper. You should be. He dropped some amazing information in there, and I promise you, he's always dropping information that I didn't know. Gosh, I don't think I have the newspaper with me. I think I left it in my office. But he was talking about Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King being the only one who has what do he call it? He has a holiday in his name, but he also said something on the national monument. I forgot how he phrased it. But if you get this commemorative issue of the Voice and Viewpoint newspaper, read Dr. John Warren's column. He breaks down some additional things that people didn't know that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King made history with, first of all. So get the Voice and Viewpoint newspaper. You should get it delivered to your email inbox. Go ahead and go to sdvoice.info. But he always prints some history, what do you call that? History lessons, if you will. Things that you probably did not know. I feel like he dropped some great knowledge at that Human Dignity Award breakfast too. I know he shared some stuff with many of them people attended. They did not know about Dr. King. And Dr. Warren can speak from it because it was during a time that he was oftentimes already rocking in those same circles when Dr. King was still alive. So I thank God that we got Dr. John Warren on this radio station, not only with his show on the app, but you can get his show by watching live on YouTube and also watching live on Facebook. Y'all got to tune in. It's Wednesday evening, 6 to 7. You've got Dr. John Warren and Dr. LT as his co-host, if you will. How you doing, Naomi? I'm just now seeing you. She says she got it from her grandma. Congratulations to your grandbaby. Thank you, Naomi. Now, Naomi, did you attend any of the breakfasts? Like I said, I haven't been on social media to see people's posts. How you doing, Dr. Corey? Dr. Corey from Elevate. Kingdom blessings to you, too. And how you doing, Brother Rahman? Blessings to you as well, and peace. Hallelujah. Did anybody else attend any of the special Martin Luther King Jr. celebrations over the weekend? You do know that there is another parade that's going to be happening on Skyline Drive this upcoming Saturday. And it's going to end at the Martin Luther King Jr. Park this year. And I understand it'll be on the front side of the park. Last year, the festival was on the back side of the park, and people didn't realize it, so they believe in bringing it to the front side of the park. It'll be more visible, and it will draw more people over there to the park. Lots of vendors will be there. Live performances are going to be happening. A lot of our local public speakers are going to be there as well, and our city officials, county officials, and state officials will be there. And it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. So I'm encouraging everybody to make sure you are there to support it. You can align yourself anywhere along Skyline Drive. You'll catch the parade. Now, that one got the real low riders in it. You won't see that one. You're going to see the real low riders in that one. But that one is a really nice community effort. I've always missed it because at the time of day that it was happening, I already had something else booked. But I would go back and watch the social media posts, and that's how I knew that it happened. I was like, dang, I missed it again. So I'm going to be doing some training on that day, so I might miss it again. Just checking my app really quick. But thank you all again for tapping in to GODRadio1.com, and please encourage people to tune into our radio app. For those who are learning about John Phillips' show, he had an increase in listenership on last night. I was shocked. I was like, I said, John, there's people listening to you on MLK Holiday, man. They was solid. I was like, oh my God. So he's doing a phenomenal job promoting his show as well. Like I said, people still shocked. They can get them oldies but goodies on a Friday and on a Monday. He did straight ahead jazz all last night. And I mean, it was powerful. I said, man, you played cuts I ain't never heard before. But if you are into Ramsey Lewis and Louis Armstrong and all of them great jazz folks, you know what? You'll get that with DJ John Phillips. So you make sure you tune into his show. I had to share the app with some people who forgot. He broadcasts twice. So Fridays and Mondays is when you can get him. And you know, Evan, I have a habit of still looking at the camera that's blue. I should be looking at you.
Right.
It's habit.
Yep.
Yes, we are still celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Absolutely. Had to get that one in here because, like I said, I miss celebrating with you all over the holiday weekend. Had to play that classic by Stevie Wonder, and we are celebrating the fact that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has a holiday that we can all participate in, and we can all enjoy a day off and a day of rest. So many parades happened over the weekend. There was a big, gigantic parade down Harbor Drive on Saturday, and that one has been continued on by let me get my stuff pulled up before I end up saying the wrong thing. But I want to shout them out as well because they have continued to invest in making sure the parade happens in San Diego. There it is. It is the Zeta Sigma Lambda chapter of the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. They are the ones responsible for keeping the parade going on Harbor Drive in the city of San Diego. So for those of us who remember as kids, that parade actually used to go right through the community of San Diego. It used to go right down Euclid Avenue, and then it would make a left turn and head down Imperial going towards Lincoln High School. And I believe there was a portion of it that used to start on 47th Street, and then it would come down Ocean View and then turn, or Logan, I should say, Logan, and then turn onto Euclid and go down Euclid and then turn again and go down in front of Lincoln High School community. And I just remember I wasn't too, aware of all of the different things going on between the city of San Diego and then the neighboring community of San Diego. And how it ended up moving downtown, that still boggles my mind of how that ended up happening. I just remember people saying, well, we don't want to come into the black community and attend the parade. We want to make it an all-inclusive parade. How factual that is, I don't know if that's the words they use, but moving it down there to Harbor Drive, which is our downtown area, where you've got all kinds of ethnic groups that not only work, but they live, right? Harbor Drive was supposed to make it more inclusive for the whole entire city and county of San Diego, but what it did is it moved it out of the community, and it moved it away from those in the community who are able to just pull out a lawn chair, not have to get in a car and go drive nowhere, because it was coming by, if you will. The floats were coming by their house. So you would see the neighboring community streets that the parade was going down. All they had to do was stand outside on a porch, set up a lawn chair, line the streets, and it was just a beautiful thing to see so many black and brown people aligned along the streets watching the floats and the marching bands and everybody go by. I can remember the marching bands coming down from LA and killing it. I can remember some marching bands flying in from other states to participate in our Martin Luther King Jr. parade. I can remember that as a kid. I can remember that. But now, when it was moved down there to Harbor Drive, a whole lot changed. Now, I'm thinking, okay, if it's going to be moved down to Harbor Drive, shouldn't all the high schools in San Diego be involved? Shouldn't all the junior high schools, shouldn't all the elementary schools have a float of some sort involved in the parade? Shouldn't it? You know, that's what I'm thinking. But I remember a few times going down there, and I didn't see that kind of involvement. I saw Morris High School involved. I saw Lincoln High School involved, but I wasn't seeing Crawford, and maybe I missed Crawford. Maybe Crawford was involved. I didn't see San Diego High School, but maybe they were involved, you know. I'm looking at the schools that have a student body of a lot of, if you will, black and brown people. Schools that are not necessarily in our predominantly white areas, but schools that are in the neighborhood, schools that I know exist. Why weren't they involved in the parade? That was my question. And I remember asking my husband, and he would be like, you know what? I don't know. So I'm thinking maybe they didn't get the word. Maybe nobody reached out to them and asked them, hey, would you like to have a float in the parade? Would you like to participate in the parade this year? But with this particular fraternity, they have kept it going, and it seems like they are beginning to reach out to different organizations and get them involved. I will tell you, a couple of years ago, me and Sean Dabb went down there, and somebody who made a very impressive show in the parade. He was an attorney, my God. He was rolling through the parade in a lowrider. I said, look at him, look at him. And he was just letting you know, hey, look, I'm an attorney. I make all this money, but I'm from the hood. That's what he was saying. I love Dr. King. He recognizes, along with so many of us, the opportunities that we have today, we once upon a time did not have them. So if you have an opportunity to participate in the next parade that's coming up on Saturday, this Saturday, it's not going to be on Harbor Drive. It's going to be in the community, if you will, Skyline. Many of you who live in San Diego, you know about the Skyline Hills community coming right down Skyline Drive. Get there early to get yourself a parking space. And no, you ain't got to worry about no meters. Praise the Lord. Just get you a nice parking space along Skyline Drive. And again, the parade will end right at Martin Luther King Jr. Park. That's where the festival is going to be, and it's going to be amazing. So I'm inviting you all to participate in that. Let me go ahead and recap who you were listening to. You heard so much in that block, which again, I'm dedicating to not only Dr. King, but also his wife, Coretta Scott King. You heard Committed with Lift Every Voice and Sing. You heard a King reflection from our very own media person. I don't really know her official title because she wears a lot of hats, but her name is Cash, and she did a reflection for me on what Dr. Martin Luther King means to her and her grandmother. She gave you some insight on watching her grandmother come through the struggle and the movement as well. You also heard Take Six. They were paired up with Angie Winans with a song called Someday. Did I get that right? I'm sorry. I'm getting my stuff mixed up. That was not Take Six. Well, it was Take Six, but let me go to my playlist here. I got too much going on. Layla Hathaway. There we go. Take Six paired up with Layla Hathaway with a song called Someday We'll All Be Free. You also heard the late James Jazzy Jordan. God rest his soul. He's not with us anymore. But before he made his transition, he also recorded an MLK reflection for his radio show. And then you heard Joshua Gordon Wilson with He's the Way. And then at the very top, it was not Coretta Scott King's voice, but it was Ruby Dee voicing the letter that Coretta Scott King actually wrote to Cesar Chavez. And again, that was called Social Progress and Change. You can find that on What If I Am a Woman, Volume 2, Black Women's Speeches and Folkways. That's where I got that from. You tuned into the right place at the right time. This is Gospel on Demand, GOD Radio. Let me move into some local artists. This next one coming up is Kimberly Watt with Excellent, right here on GODRadio1.com. Naomi said, no, I was not able to come this year, but I heard it was a great event. Which one, Naomi? Which event were you not able to come to? And which one were you trying to attend? Let me know. We've got a lot of other great events coming up as we get ready to close out January. I can hardly believe we're moving into the last week of January. This is crazy that the months are already flying by so fast. But we'll try to make the most of everything that God is giving us the opportunity to do while we have the time to do it. I'm going to tell you something that somebody told me. If you are planning to travel, be mindful as a U.S. citizen and as an American, not to be taken advantage of by people who are hating on the U.S. right now because of the current administration and the decisions that they're making and how they're impacting so many other countries. So if you are traveling abroad, of course, travel with your armor on. be suited and booted, and your whole armor. And always watch and pray wherever you go. Because we cannot control what's coming out of the mouth of our leaders. And sometimes they are writing checks that they don't have to cash. We end up having to cash it, you see. And so we want to be mindful of that. Prayerful at the same time. And of course, cautious. Try not to allow yourself to be caught up in no conversations that are meaningless. Because even when we were celebrating Dr. King's holiday, I had some little challenging situations that happened with another ethnic group that I will not name, who has a problem with the Dr. King movement, if you will. And I had to look at it as the adversary trying to steal my joy. And I said, should I be surprised? Should I be surprised that this person was trying to draw me into a place that I didn't care to be drawn into? And I almost resorted back to the unsaved Evangel. That part of me almost spoke up. And so I was like, okay. I was trying to process it and get my bearings because I almost showed my natural tail. It's still there, y'all. It's still there. I try to keep her buried and dead, okay? She's supposed to be dead. But I had to pray. And so I thank the Lord that I can pray. Hallelujah. I thank the Lord that I can. Okay, so Naomi said the one that Dr. T was recognized as. So that's the Human Dignity Breakfast. I got you. Thank you for letting me know that. It was indeed a beautiful event. Absolutely beautiful. And again, I thoroughly enjoyed my husband's acceptance speech, Pastor Wells' acceptance speech, and of course, Dr. John Warren's keynote address, if you will. I really feel like he could have actually spoke that whole speech or his address without even looking at no paper. He didn't need no notes or nothing. He had his notes, but I don't think he referred to his notes at all. He used it as a history lesson. That's what I feel like. I told Dr. Warren, if he was my history teacher in high school, I probably would have had an A in the class. I probably would have, because he makes history so interesting, you know. He talks about the stuff that we never knew. And I just remember looking through the history book, and I never saw, us in the book. I didn't see enough of us. So I hated history. I hated it. I did. And I wanted to know more about us. If he was my history teacher, I believe I would have got that. There was so much I believe I would have learned. But once you graduate out of high school, like me, I was one of those students who got her credits early. I was going to those summer school classes. I fulfilled all of my credits well before the required time, and I was offered the opportunity of graduating early. But they said if you graduate early, you don't get to participate in the graduation ceremony. And I was like, what? Every senior lived for the moment to put on the cap and gown. You want to march. You want to walk with your class. You want your family to come. So I had to make a decision. Either I give up the graduation ceremony and graduate early, or I choose electives. I said, hey, I can do that. So I only had to go to school for half the day. I was driving by then, had my own car. And I remember my friends would be mad. They'd be like, dang, you get ready to go home, huh? They walk into their next class. I only had to attend 3 classes a day, and they were electives. So that's almost like getting ready to go to the playground 3 times a day. That's all you got to do is go to the playground. I really enjoyed that. But I really wish that I had the type of history teachers such as a Dr. John Warren or even a Dr. Shirley Weber, because she did a poll of the audience to find out how many of her students ever carried forth the things they were saying to her. Oh, Dr. Weber, if I was alive during your time, I would have been marching. I would have been doing this. She said she had to look into the audience and say, well, where are my students today? Are they still feeling that way today when we look at what's happening in society today? Where are those same students that said they will be a part of the struggle? She wonders how many of them actually are participating in it today. Here's Dr. LT. Here I am, Dr. Weber, here I am. He right. But how many others? That was her question. How many others? But it was a really good question. Yes, this is my good friend Antoine Hilton. I call him my good friend now. He was a fan of the station. He came up and sang, "Hi, Evangel." And I looked at him like, okay, do we know each other? Antoine knew we were spinning his music. So like I said, sometimes these artists look different in person. Oh my God, they look different. Great sound. I love it. See, I can get artist music like that. I can spin it, I can spin that. When I heard it, I said, oh my God, he's got a nice style, a nice flavor. And then when he takes the stage, he brings his guitar on stage and he's rocking the guitar while he's singing. And he's got a nice look to him as well. And I said, Antoine. And he was like, yes, ma'am. He's just great. And I told him I'm going to continue to support his ministry. And I'm praying that more doors will open up for him, as well as so many other independent artists that have been doing it for a long time. And they've got, a great sound. Music is mixed really good. All they need is an opportunity. And if God says the same, the Spaldings are going to launch a radio show, not only a radio show, but a TV show. Y'all pray with me. A TV show that kind of mimics the Arsenio Hall show, where they are bringing all of these independent artists on TV, you see, and being able to showcase them and allow you to meet them face to face, hear their testimony, hear the struggle that they went through as Christians, and then how in the world did they get their musical break. Sometimes they get their break by being on the right platform in the right place at the right time. And sometimes we got to create the platform. We got to be the ones to create it. What did Arsenio do? He created a platform. And to this date, there has not been anybody else to do the same. What did Bobby Jones do? Created a platform. Now, there were some others that tried to come in and carry the torch. I don't know if it was as successful, because there's only one Bobby Jones. But I do pray that there is yet another radio host turned TV show host, if you will, that is able to establish another platform similar to, but not exact. You don't want to do the exact same thing, because you can't be exact. But take that platform, do something additional with it that's not being done now, and offer these artists an opportunity to have a place to show, have a place to minister, a place to demonstrate and talk about what God is doing in their lives. Some of their testimonies will blow your mind, blow your mind, especially if you know the testimony behind the songs that they recorded. Powerful, absolutely powerful. So we're listening to Tanika Wyatt right now in her latest single, Don't Be Afraid. Yes, yes, yes. Hear an artist that I don't believe I've played before, but I think he was played on the Wake Up Morning show. It'll be my first time playing it on this show. And then we will get into some CHH, if you will. Let me see. I don't even have them pulled up yet. Let me pull them up real quick. Oh yeah, I do got one of them. I do have it pulled up. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Ramon, what you say? Did you do ROP? Remember that? LOE, LOL? I don't know, Ramon, what you talking about? What's ROP? If I missed it, I must have missed something. Clinton said you're not the only one. I had hated history. Even in college, you hated it. Dang, Clinton. I would have thought that in college you would have been able to take a black studies of some sort, what they call Africana studies. My husband said I think he took that in college and he really enjoyed it. And I've talked to some other people that took social studies and stuff like that from a different angle. I think it all depends on the professor that you have as well. If they are engaging and they're not boring to listen to, I think that you can find interest in the topics. But yeah, if I had a Dr. Warren, I would have probably had an A in the class. I know that much.
This is Tanika White, and you are listening to G.O.D. Gospel on Demand Radio.
Get into some Sheila Waters Mosley for a bit, and then we will move into our hip hop block. Trying to keep up with y'all in the chat. Y'all be chatting kind of fast here. Ramon, clarify what ROP is. What were you talking about? And Clinton said, I look at art history class, still hated it. What? Clinton, dang, for real. Hi, Brittany. I don't know about that. I think I would have still enjoyed the class if I was you. And you said that's an elective class. People took region. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Ramon. I didn't take that class. My electives were fun. I did a camera. I had a camera class. I had an art class. And I forgot what my third one was. But they were all electives. And once I did my 3 classes for the day, I was in my ride and out. Everybody was so jealous and so mad. It was funny. Can I come home with you? I was like, yeah. What you gonna? I'm not gonna sign you out. Remember that? They had to sign you out. Get your little pass to get out of school early. That's funny. And when I was in high school, we got 1-hour lunches. Not only was it 1 hour, we got a chance to leave the campus in our cars and go drive wherever we wanted to go for lunch. Isn't that something? When I was in high school, we had a smoking section on the campus of the school. And I remember coming out of junior high school, coming from, 9th grade, going into 10th grade, being with the high schoolers. And I remember when we were going through the campus, because I was bussed in, there's a smoky area, cigarette smoke, right? And I said, what's that? They said, oh, that's the smoking section. I said, the smoking section? I was like, what? I said, they get to smoke cigarettes? You know you being mischief when you in high school, right? I did end up smoking cigarettes, I did. But what was funny to me is the students and the teachers smoking together, okay? So you went on a smoking break with your teacher, and all of a sudden, they was cool. But then when you got in class, you thought thought that meant they was gonna let you show out. No, they still put you in your place as a teacher, but y'all was cool at lunchtime in the smoking section.
Wow.
And not only that, there was a vending machine that sold the cigarettes. See, they was only $1.50 a pack.
Oh my God.
So if you had quarters, you could go buy you a pack of cigarettes on the campus of the school, y'all. I'm talking about high school. This was normal. And I remember parents, when we started really hearing the pushback on nicotine and cancer, woo, them campaigns got real heavy. And they pushed for that whole smoking section to be done away with, the vending machines taken off the campus. The students was protesting to keep the vending machine, keep the smoking section. They didn't want it to go nowhere. But it eventually went through, they pushed it through, and the smoking section was turned into just a lunch area. The vending machines were taken away. You couldn't smoke on campus no more, even in the smoking section, not even in the parking lot. You were supposed to leave the lot in the premises and go up to the top, to the public sidewalk, and you could smoke there. I remember that. But people be like, what? Y'all had a smoking section? I could imagine if they have something like that right now, honey. It would not be nicotine they were smoking. And they would not just be vaping for the sake of vaping. It would have something else in there, if you know what I mean. It would definitely be a different aroma. It was quite funny. But just some of the interesting things that I can recall. That's what's amazing.
Same. I'm about to leave out of here. I'm about to move out of here anyway.
Yes. That is San Diego's own songbird, Sheila Mosley, but we also know her as Sheila Waters Mosley with her single, The Best. And I simply enjoyed that song when she first dropped it. Looking forward to new music coming from her. She said, pray for me, because I got to get back in the studio. And I believe she is in the studio working on something new. Just before that, you heard the latest release from Tanika Wyatt with Don't Be Afraid. Please download that, add that to your playlist, and continue to let it bless your soul. I mean, we're talking about courage, and that was actually the theme of the All People's Breakfast that we attended on yesterday. Their theme was courage, and that's something that God was encouraging Tanika Wyatt's heart with, even as she was going through her journey on The Voice. She did not win, but she did go the distance. So I have to continue to shout her out for doing that, and of course representing San Diego and Los Angeles so well. Before that was Antoine Hilton with New York City. When he sent us that track, I said, wow, what? That's you? It was really, really nice. I love Antoine's sound, his style. As I said before, he is a musician. I hope that he's able to come to the Gen Conference that we're going to be hosting here in San Diego, California this year. It's going to be a conference designed for independent artists. You're going to have an opportunity to connect with some record labels, a lot of industry professionals. They want to actually hear you. They want to see you. They also want to pour into you, indie artists, to help you to move your career forward. So I hope that's something that you will register for as we begin to promote it a little bit more than that. And then you heard from Kimberly Watt with Excellent. That's her latest release. And then, of course, the Stevie Wonder birthday celebration to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I've got only a little bit of time left, so I think I'm going to be able to get in one hip-hop song. I'm going to send this one out to Jose. He's the one that's been supporting us, I mean, like a champ. He's always telling us about stuff going on in Los Angeles. I said, man, I'm in San Diego. I said, one of these days, I'm going to get up there to the event that you are promoting. But this is a collaboration he did with an artist by the name of Chris Cron. And the song is called I Cannot Stay, right here on Gospel on Demand Radio. Yes, time is flying by too fast, too
I
fast.
mean, for real, I feel like we just started.
Original occupation program back in the day, electro classes. Okay, Ramon. What high school did you go to? I went to Patrick Henry. That's where I was at. So I was out there with the predominantly Caucasian kids. We had to be bussed in. He said, I went to Morris in 91, one of the best schools in Southern California. Amen, but I bet you the Hornets will contest that. Morris and Lincoln was rivals. Uh-huh. I bet you they do not agree with you, Ramon. I'll be closing out the broadcast in a little bit. I'm going to take another commercial break just before I close it out. Ain't nobody coming on after me though, so that's good.
Oh, it's Tuesday. That's right.
I know that's right.
What's up, family? It's happening. And Rick's back. A new radio show called Revival. It's where Christian hip hop and R&B make real conversations about faith and real life. Music we actually listen to, honest dialogue, and everything pointing back to Jesus. No pressure, no pretending.
Your voice is funny on that part. I said I could see your facial expression when you said it.
Had to not pop those peas.
No, I know.
Hey, Jonta. You know what? I was supposed to do my birthday. Now that I see you're in the chat, let me do a birthday song for you, my dear. Happy birthday to you.
We'll see you there.
Hey family, love the inspiration you get with Elevate Live? Well, take it to the next level with Elevate Magazine.
His voice is so
Dive
rich.
into powerful stories, faith-filled insight, and lifestyle
Peter
content
Thompson's.
designed
It's,
to uplift and
Elevate
empower you.
Radio.
So don't just listen.
What are you doing for your birthday, my dear? What's on the agenda?
In every page.
Ramon
Visit
still
us now
still
at Elevate Magazine.
chanting the Tigers, huh?
That's ELE.
Are you going to be at the game that's happening there with the youth? I forgot the name of it, but I know there's a gospel fest at Calvary Baptist. I should be promoting it. Oh, I had y'all in there twice? I sure did. Well, y'all getting promo twice. I had you in there twice. But yes, I need to get the flyer so that I can promote it on the radio station. It's going to happen very
Send it right
quickly.
now.
Music we actually listen to, honest dialogue.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to pull it up fast enough. I only got like 3 minutes, 2 minutes left.
Premieres January 28th and airs every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's 6:30 Central and 7:30 Eastern. You can listen on GODradio.com or the GOD
I got a birthday song for you coming up next, John. Sit tight.
Rhythm and Revival. This ain't your regular Christian hip hop and R&B show. We'll see you there.
Jose, Mr. I cannot stay. You're not tapped into the hottest San Diego radio. God Radio 1 on Gospel on Demand Radio. Let's go.
Just for you, Jonta.
It's your day, your birthday. We gon' celebrate you. We gon' celebrate you. It's your day, your birthday. We gon' celebrate you. We gon' celebrate you. Everybody take your cameras down.
Pull your camera out, Jonta Day. If you're looking good, I saw a picture of you and Laker. I didn't know whose birthday it was. I was like, wait a minute, is it both of them's birthday? Pose. Come on, Jonta. Pose, 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 girl. It's on you. Pose. Take a picture. That's for you, Jonta.
I like this.
You still ain't told me what you're doing for your birthday.
Yeah, she
Oh,
did.
is it? Did she? Did I miss it? Where is it at? All I see is, oh, she said nothing. I'm at work, and then Laker will be TikToking. What you say? TikToking with me later. Aw, you're not going to dinner? Nothing? How about after you get off work or before you go to work? Something. She said, I'm feeling the love. All right, girl. Well, you got to do something in the weekend coming up to make up for what you missed. You working on your birthday. Take a picture.
I like this. I'm about to.
All right, let me go ahead and drop my music down. Yeah. That one right there is going out to our very own Johnson A. Corley. That, of course, is our dear sister Ty Scott King with that banger. And I mean, I did not know she had recorded it. I had put a request out there to the gospel recording artists, and I said, hey, you all need to get more creative and think about some other songs that you can record for holidays or special celebrations, such as anniversaries and birthdays. And before I knew it, Ty Scott King dropped that banger. And when I looked in the email inbox, I said, how in the world did I miss that? How did I miss it? I had to reach out to her and tell her, OMG. I'm trying to encourage you all to also, if you're trying to get your music out there, get your name out there, you're recording gospel songs, yeah, that's good, right? But there are other things that happen on the calendar that you can use your talents for. Everybody got a birthday coming up. We don't want to keep playing the same old birthday song. Y'all record birthday songs. If you spit, do it spit. And if you do R&B, do an R&B. If you do rock, do rock. But everybody's looking for different things to add to their posts. You know how you can go and you can add music to your posts. You pull up the, just type in the title, you're going to see all of these artists pop up from other countries that have recorded songs along that line. How about you, gospel artists? You do it too. So that when people are looking for music for their post, they're going to see your name. And then when they hear your track, they, ooh, this fit my post perfectly, right? You do the exact same thing for birthdays, for anniversaries, for Christmas, for Resurrection Sunday, for Martin Luther King Jr. birthday. You see, Black History Month, Women's History Month, Gospel Music History Month. You should have a song for everything. How about that? And you can still monitor the lyrics that you put in there and make it fit the moment. Anyway, that was going out to our very own Johnton A. Corley, a.k.a. Jonta. Thank you all so much for tuning in to GODRadio1.com. You've been rocking with Evangel for your midday music mix. I'm about to exit because I am over my time. I'm waving at you all on social media. And again, thanking you so much for keeping it locked to GODRadio1.com. And if you do like what you're hearing, please ask somebody to download the app and put it on their phone or tune in online or follow us on our social media pages. We got some great shows joining us, and you just heard one of the promos from the show. The Spaldings will be launching, and you all are going to enjoy that show. And guess what? You'll be able to get them on multiple platforms as well. So you all keep it locked to the right place at the right time, GODRadio1.com. Be blessed. Alrighty, I'm off on the radio side. So let me see. Who would I miss? She said, no, what you say? No, I'm going to comedy show this weekend. Who's the comic? Who are you going to see, John Tanae? And she says, Evan knows. How Evan know everything? Huh? How he know everything? You ain't told me nothing. How about me? Let me know what you're doing. There are several comedy spots that I know of. One of them is right there on Claremont Mesa Boulevard. I think it's called Mic Drop. I have a friend that's doing an event there, Miss Gail Heavenbound, that she invited me to. I need to go back and look at the date to see if I can do it. But anyway, John, today have an absolutely blessed and amazing birthday. I don't know what your wishes are for the rest of this year, but I do pray that your birthday year holds many sweet surprises that you did not expect. That's what I want for you, sister. All right, you all be blessed in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Praise the Lord.
All right, we off. Can you hit that light, baby? The second light on at the bottom.
Now, he also
Or
set
the
it
top.
up on the tablet for you all if you all want to also have access to
Okay.
changing the light structure.
Okay.
It's this little icon right here that says C. So it remains open. You don't have to type in the code. Just don't log out of it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's like at home.
Oh, y'all got that at home? Okay,
Yeah.
it's right here. So it also allows you to pick like changing colors that, you know, do the
Okay.
changing for you, or if you don't want to use that part of it, you can just pick a solid color.
Yeah.
So when I first started playing around with it, I got some good feedback. I said, okay, they like that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just keep doing it. But I had went through all of the moving lights,
Okay.
the ones that move and do all kinds of stuff for you.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I like that actually.
The ones that move, like the Aura,
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
called Aurora in Vegas. When we was going to the Stellars in Vegas, I
Okay.
had the Vegas lights.
Okay.
Yeah, they got all these different ones on here for the 4th of July and everything. Let's see.
What's up, Jonathan? What's up, Jonathan? Hey. Oh, you can? Bet.
Oh, she's going to see Miss Pat.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and it will be at Mic Drop. All right.